In 25, we are talking about hyperbolas, finding center, equations of asymptotes, coordinates of foci, and sketching the graph. So let's look at A. We know it's a hyperbola because we got an x squared and a y squared with a minus on one of them, or they have a sign change. So we're good there. So we got to complete the square twice again. The x squared is easy. X squared plus 4x plus our blank. And then over here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add the 400 over, and then I'm going to put the blank here. I'm going to need to complete the square with my y as well, but there's this extra negative 16 in front of it. So I need to factor out the negative 16 first. Negative 16 taken out of y squared leaves me with y squared. Negative 16 taken out of negative 160y should leave me with plus 10y plus that blank spot. Plus the blank spot. All right, so completed the square on the x. X plus 2 squared plus 4 plus 4. Now, if you're having trouble with completing the square, I went through it very slowly in 24. That's why I'm going through it a little quicker in 25. And then with our y equation, y plus 5 squared is 25. Now the key here is this isn't a 25, it's actually a 25 times a negative 16. So 25 times negative 16 is negative 400. So that negative 400 needs to go over there. So it's actually going to be equal to just 4. Then we can do our division. Because we want it equal to 1, we should divide everything by 4. So we're going to have x plus 2 squared over 4. Now what's going to happen here? We're going to have a 16 over 4, which is actually a 4 on the top. But we need it in the denominator, so I'm going to do something that I think we'll understand. I could actually put a 1/4 in the denominator, which would make it a 4 on top. Y plus 5 squared equals 1. And now I'm good. You can totally ask the question on this 1/4 in class. We can go over that. I'm going to erase over here, and we're going to talk about, now that we've got the equation in standard form or graphing form, the center is going to be at -2, -5. So maybe I could graph that a little more like this. There we go, -2, -5 down there. Good. Center's at -2, 4, -5. Equations of the asymptotes, coordinates of the foci. All right. So asymptotes, well, let's take a look here at our box. I'm going to go left and right 2 because that's under the x. So this is 2, 2. And I'm actually only going to go up and down square root of 1/4, which is just 1/2. So I'm barely going to go up and down. Create my little box there. My asymptotes are going to go like this. And the slope of my asymptotes is b over a. So 1/2 over 4, which is actually going to be 1/8 plus or minus. So then the equations of my asymptotes should be y equals plus or minus plus or minus 1/8, and then we just put in our center point, x plus 2 plus 5, minus 5. There we go, equations of the asymptotes. Coordinates of the foci, that's going to be our c squared equals a squared plus b squared. This is a squared, this is b squared. So c is going to be square root of 4.25. And those are going to be right, because it's a positive x value, those are going to be right here and right here in the x direction. I don't know what just happened there. And our hyperbola should open to the sides coming out to our asymptotes. There's a foci there, and sketch the graph. I think we're good. Try B. Should be a very similar problem. Got to keep that -4 out of the x, which means you need -4 out of the -16x as well.